runs good actually. I hope you guys can hear me over the open headers. I did fix this. So I did fix the foot throttle. It still has governor and everything. I just wired it correctly this time. I basically was running it today to charge up this battery. Hopefully it will be enough to charge it and crank it. I don't know if the battery's good or not. But she runs, she drives. It's a little bit slower than my other mower. Let me just shut it off here. But yeah, she runs and drives, of course. But like I was saying, it's a little bit slower than my other mower. But other than that, it works good. I mean, it's a mud mower. Don't need to be fast going through the mud holes. I just would rather it be fast going through the mud holes. But oh well. I put a fuel shut off here. Fuel shut off switch because don't mind this. This is factory. The steering rod smashed into this is factory. You want that to happen. You know, this cools down the oil a little bit more. No, that's not really good, but whatever. Back to what I was saying, the fuel shut off I put on there because the whole problem why I couldn't get this motor running and stay running is because the fuel solenoid, ooh, that valve cover's hot. Right there, you can see that bolt right there, right next to the spring. The fuel solenoid piece, the little electric one that clicks, keeps it from flooding, broke. And that I could only get it to run through the carburetor if I dumped gas down there. And so I just put a bolt in there and a nut so I could kind of cinch it down to the metal and seal it kind of good. And then I put the fuel shut off in there so it would not be flooding it, because this motor naturally holds it wide open and needs that. Because the governor kind of sits wide open and holds it wide open, and so when it fires up it pulls it back and idles it. Kind of a weird system, but I just put that in there. Plus it shouldn't go past this fuel pump anyway, but just in case I just put that in there, which since I shut it off I should shut off this. So yeah, other than that I couldn't find a nut for this guy, so I just put the Jeep shackle bolt. So that's running, that's off. None of this other stuff works. The key works, but apparently the battery's just shot, so that's not good. This was supposed to be for that fuel solenoid, so was this. They both are broke. This is headlights, not wired up. Missing one and the other one's not wired up. This is the broken switch, and I did test it and it is still broke. So other than that, it runs, it drives. It's a little bit slow, goes about 9 miles an hour. I use a little GPS guy. 9 miles an hour, which isn't terrible for a mud mower. My race mower goes 13, so or it did, because before the rear end went, which makes no sense because this is a 26.5 horsepower engine and the other one's a 20 or 18 twin cylinder, so they should weigh the same. This one might be a little bit heavier, being an OHV, being a little bit bigger, but I don't know, it's just a little bit slower. It does still pop wheelies, but only gets them probably about, I'd say probably half a foot off the ground. The race mower pops wheelies really good, so at least I have one thing that still pops wheelies. It still got plenty of traction with those tires. Eventually I might switch this out with like a 10 horse or something, because the time that I had that 10 horse, it was awesome. But for now, until this blows up or something bad happens to it, I'll just keep on topping it off with oil and running it. And I got a spare engine for it anyway, 19.5 twin cylinder that needs a flywheel and some other stuff, and a starter gear, and a carburetor. But other than that, you know, I could put it on and I could easily grab that stuff. But the plan is to go to the junkyard and get another rear end just like this one and put it into the race mower. Way over there. And you probably can't even see it. Put it into the race mower. And then I'll have the race mower going. And then I'll have this one going. And so if someone challenges me to a race, I'll jump on the race mower. If someone challenges me to go through a mud hole, I'll do this one. And we'll probably shoot a video eventually of me putting these tires on the race mower and seeing it go through a mud hole or two. Maybe. I don't know. Depends if the rear end that I get has seats on wheels or whatever. But that's maybe a video in the future. So the motor does still shake, but it is what it is. It's only held on by 2 bolts. And like I was telling you guys, every time you run it and the oil gets hot, it starts coming out the side of the block. Right there. You could probably see that seam right there where it's just leaking oil. That's the gasket that I was talking about. So if I run it for like literally a couple seconds, it builds up enough pressure to push it out. But it does not spray when you're running. It only does it when it's stopped. So probably because it's spinning around and not at that level no more, or whatever. This was the old puddle. So basically I just gotta make sure that I park somewhere where I won't drip too much oil. And if you wonder how I'm gonna just keep on filling this up with oil, why would I waste so much oil? Let me close this hood real fast. Oh, I did finally get the right clip back. The old clip was the wrong one. Sorry about this. There it goes. Okay, if you wonder how I'm gonna keep on filling up with oil, I'm gonna just keep on filling it up with this used motor oil. There's used motor oil in here, 1030. I work on a lot of cars, so I have a lot of access to a bunch of used motor oil, and I just put them in those containers and then top off the lawnmowers with them, because why not? But our actual lawnmower itself, we put fresh oil in. The one that actually mows the lawn. My beater mowers, they just get used motor oil. They might be thin, they might be not lubricating enough, but with this oil leak, I cannot afford to just keep on going buying new oil repeatedly. So yeah, every mower that is pulley swapped gets, or that's mine and my brother's, gets used motor oil from cars, because like I said, we're cheapskates and don't want to go pay for oil, because I would be out of money real quick with this thing. But other than that, the seat really needs to be fixed or something. It really kind of slides me off. I think it's because there's foam behind this, so it's pushing, so it's kind of be like tucked. This is a boat seat cover. I bought a boat seat, and that was the only part of the cover that was still there. And oh yeah, I guess I forgot to show this. The hood is actually back. I don't know if I showed this or not. I don't think I did. The hood is back. To how I sold it. Pretty much. The stickers are more exposed now. You can actually see them better than you used to when I owned it. Steel wool worked great for that. Brought them right back. And you can see the old black paint that someone spray painted over, spray painted it before I got it. And I was fine with that because there was still rust and crap. And then you can see that where the stickers were, I pulled them off because I didn't know about the steel wool until later. You can still see the crappy black paint that someone put on here after I sold it. And you might wonder how I got it off. It was not acetone. I just used sandpaper and just sanded it kind of lightly and got as much black paint as I could off the hood. And then we just took steel wool to the stickers, and it worked great. I'm not going to do nothing about this spray paint that they spray painted on the back. We cleaned up that sticker. I gotta still clean up that light a little bit. But this paint that they put on, I'm fine with it. You know, it'll chip off. I'll probably do more harm than good sanding that. Eat the new or the old paint, the factory paint. But they didn't spray paint under here. Or actually, they spray painted this sticker and I wiped it down with steel wool. But basically that battery, it's not holding volts, so I don't think it will. It's just there to complete the circuit. I'll just keep on jumping it. I don't really care. So yeah, other than that, the hood's back, the motor runs good, and it drives. So other than that, it's pretty much done. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time on Off-Road Garage.